Welcome back to the warm up with John Ben. Continuing our season outlook, we have the Chicago Bulls. But before we get into it, please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Turn on that notification bell so you never miss an episode of the warm up. Please follow our new social media followings in the description below on Instagram and Twitter. And yeah, let's get into it. The Chicago Bulls, a team that extended Josh Giddey this offseason, a team that I know fans I feel bad for. A lot of them don't like where the front office is right now. They wish they had like that it guy. But a lot of positive things around the Chicago Bulls. They had a hell of a second or like last third to the season last year. So let's get into it.
All right, so yeah, starting with the roster as we usually do. Yes, Josh Giddey, you paid the big bucks to this summer. Vucevic is still there. Zach Collins, Pat Williams, who Bulls fans really like, Kevin Huerter, Kobe White, who I'm really high on personally, Isaac Okoro, who spent some time in Cleveland, Jalen Smith, who's been around for a little bit, Trey Jones, spent some time in San Antonio last year, Ayo DeSumo, who is I'm also really high on, Javon Carter, the veteran, Matas, who is one of their young guys who has a lot of upside. Very excited about him. Yeah, this Bulls roster, like let's just put it simply, is still in development. They're still trying to find their identity. They obviously made some changes last year, opting to trade Zach LaVine, which honestly was a long overdue process. Zach LaVine had been in trade talks for years before this trade even went down. So for Zach LaVine to finally get a change of scenery, I thought was a good thing. I thought it was good for the Bulls too. So, looking at the Bulls this season, I really don't see them being competitive. They're not there yet. I think this is going to be one of those teams where, you just take it another year and you try to just continue to build through the draft or maybe attract a free agent. Chicago is obviously not as desirable as the coastal cities, but it's a very historic franchise. People would love to play there. So, just kind of a wait and see thing with Chicago.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on everything you said. A couple things that strike out for me. Kobe White is extension eligible, still hasn't signed an extension, as well as Ayo DeSumo. They're both extension eligible. No extension has been reported that's close or in talks. It has been reported they are in communication about it. And then Nikola Vucevic, it looks like this could be the last year, him being on the Bulls. And I'd even go as far as to say if they're not where they usually are, which is 500 like the last 3 seasons, I think that becomes a serious buyout candidate after the trade deadline. I'm curious to see where this team looks. I like Trey Jones coming off the bench. Patrick Williams, their draft pick from a couple years back. A lot of people were high on. He hasn't panned out. But yeah, Josh Giddey hitting that full court shot against the Lakers last year made them not get Cooper Flag. So there's that too. It's just an organization that's had a lot of bad luck. And it's unfortunate for Bulls fans because they gave up Alex Caruso for Josh Giddey, but they didn't get any of OKC's prolific first. And hopefully Easton Gay hits, but it's not looking great right now for the Chicago Bulls. And yeah, it kind of just sucks.
Yeah, it does. With the East, it's like in order for you to compete, you have to be really, really good, and they're just not there at all. They're kind of just one of these bottom feeding teams that really is just kind of stuck and doesn't have a direction. They honestly feel a lot like the Sacramento Kings. I will say the Kings have a lot more vets in their roster, but this roster just feels really stuck.
Yeah,
that's kind of one thing that sticks out to me. So I'm hoping that this team can really pick it up and try to get some wins this season. I think Josh Giddey is obviously a good player for them, but I think they still got fleeced in that Caruso trade because you look at OKC, that was one of their pieces to literally winning the championship. And I know that had to sting for Bulls fans. So I understand. Really high on Matas. I believe that's how you pronounce it. But yeah, I'm really high on him. He is going to be good. I think he's one of those just kind of second year leap guys that we've big horn just honked. Anyways, he is one of those, second year leap guys that I think could make a giant difference. That's the train. That's what that is. Okay. But I really believe in him too. Trey Jones, like you said, off the bench is really good. Interested to see what they do with Kobe, White, and Ao.
Hmm.
Don't know if those become trade candidates. Don't know what they're really going to
Yeah.
do there. I'm interested to see how that pans out for them. I know that Kobe White is a very desired point guard at many NBA teams right now. So we'll kind of just have to wait and see what happens there. And yeah, Vucevic is definitely a buyout candidate. I think he's got a little bit more basketball left in him. He
Yeah.
definitely has the ability to go help a contender now. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Kevin Herter being there is cool too. Great shooter.
Yeah.
A lot of good things from him as well. So yeah, just kind of stay the course of the rebuild, and you got to hopefully get some lottery luck, man, because that's kind of the way of the new NBA.
Hmm. No, yeah, I totally agree with you. I think their bright spot of this team was like the last third of last year when they were playing with just an immense amount of pace, jacking up a lot of threes and getting downhill. Buzelis, I think, like you said, is going to have that year 2 leap. I believe in his skill set, and he's a true 6'10", 6'11". Like, he looks massive out there, and he could put the ball on the floor. He could shoot the 3 ball, and we've all seen his finishing capabilities as well. Um, Josh Giddey, if he had some improvement this offseason, if he could just hit league average from the 3-point line, that could go a long way. Like 35% from 3. I don't think that will happen. But yeah, I think if the Bulls lean into a lot of what they did towards the end of last season, get downhill, just play super fast and get on the break, I think that could go a long way for them. Um, their rookie, their first round pick, Eason Gay. See what he is. He's just a skinny guy. Kind of reminds me of a little bit of Giannis's rookie year. Just throw him out there, see what he could do, because I think he has a chance for some real offensive pop. And then Isaac Okoro, who they got in that Lonzo Ball deal. Um,
Yes, that's right.
see what Okoro could do. I think Okoro's a starter in this league, and I think if you start
Mm-hmm.
him, at least you have a guy who's starting who can guard the other team's best player, which if he's not starting, they don't have right now. But yeah, I'm curious to see where this team goes. Like you said, I think they're a play-in team. That's where I would have them. I think Bulls fans would love if they finished dead last and was more in the like 12,
Yeah.
13, 14, 15 range just for the draft lottery odds. But we've seen year after year, the Bulls want to be competitive and they really won't blow it up regardless of how the season goes. So,
Yeah, you can really look at this from a lot of what ifs with last season based off that coin flip between the Mavs and the Bulls.
mhm.
But, I mean, like, it wasn't just the Giddy shot. There were a lot of games that they
Yeah.
could have lost to get there. But I love to put it on the Giddy shot because I just think it's funny because it's like
Yeah.
literally if everything else goes right and he doesn't hit that shot, Cooper Flag's in Chicago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Bulls fans would like to finish dead last. They need some lottery luck, man, because they have just
Mhm.
not been getting it at all.
Yeah.
So I'm really interested to see what their direction is like midseason. Like if they're in that playing range, do they stay there or do they kind of go with the full on tank?
Yeah.
That'll be kind of interesting to see. And does this team make a trade or two to kind of like shake things up? Do they buy out Vucevic? Like, I don't think this roster is going to stay intact the entire year. There will be some guys that are going to be moved to probably acquire some draft assets here and there,
Yeah.
because that's kind of what they need to do right now. Get as many draft assets as you can,
Mhm.
so you can try to build your team from homegrown, as we've been saying over and over and over in these videos. That's the way of the new NBA:
Mhm.
homegrown, draft, and hope it lands.
Yeah.
So I think that's the key for them.
Yeah. No, I think if we get towards February and there's no extension between Kobe White, Io, you have to trade them. You have to trade them before the deadline's up. You cannot afford to lose these players for nothing because
Yeah,
the
agreed.
odds of them coming back, I think, are really
No.
slim, especially in a player with Kobe White, who there is 7 to 8 teams next year with cap space. And I mean, if you're in the league long enough, by now he probably knows where he would fit. A lot of teams just need a offensive player like that. And yeah, Io as well. Io's a really good 3-and-D player. Like, I'm actually kind of shocked he probably won't even start for them, but
No.
I'm a big Io guy, and I think he can
Me
help a
too.
lot of contenders out there on both
Yeah.
sides of the ball as
No,
well.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah. You got anything else to add?
I don't think so. Yeah, I
Okay.
think this is gonna be a good kind of interesting situation for them. Kind of feel things out when you get to February and see
Mhm.
if you want to make a couple transactions to try to just shake things up. But other than that, just stay the course, and hopefully things will turn up soon.
Yeah. No, yeah, I totally agree. Well, that concludes our season outlook video on the Chicago Bulls. Please like, comment, subscribe on the video. Let us know your thoughts on the Chicago Bulls. Please follow new social media feeds on Instagram and Twitter as well. And peace. We'll see y'all next time.